Everyone, I realize I haven't given a health update in quite a while, so I figured that I would make a video and give you guys one. Couple things first, I'm just getting over being sick, so if I sound horrible or sound like a frog, that's what's been going on. I've been sick. It's the one time a doctor's like, don't get sick, and I got sick. So, but I'm getting better. I'm just not 100% yet. So let me give you a bit of a backstory. I have stage 4 endometriosis. I'm pretty vocal about it on social media, so if you're on there, you probably already know this. But what a lot of people don't know is Brian and I have been going through IVF for the last about 5 years. And in February, we went and we did a transfer. It was a miracle transfer. We still can't believe that it happened, but it did, and everybody thought that it was successful. Even my doctor's office thought that I was pregnant. But come to find out, I was not pregnant. I just had every single side effect of the medicine that I was on. So obviously we were devastated that it didn't work. Our doctor had no explanation of why it didn't work. I had my surgery. I was prepared, I had all my testing, everything was coming back really great. So there's no explanation. So then in March, obviously, all the sickness in the world happened, and IVF had to stop. We weren't allowed to do it. So it was fine. We didn't have the money anyways, so it was fine. So a couple months goes by, and we finally got the all clear, and we were trying to do a August transfer. But before August, all my testing that I had done was about to expire. When you do testing for fertility, it's good for 1 year, and that 1 year was up. So I had all my stuff, and one of my tests came back abnormal, which was no big deal. It's happened before. I'm sorry if you hear screaming. My neighbors just got home, and it's very loud. I live in an apartment, so if I'm distracted, that's why. So anyway, so my test came back abnormal. I've had this test come back abnormal before. I've even had a biopsy, but it's turned to before that I have a cell that is rare and common, but it will make certain tests come back abnormal sometimes. Okay, no big deal. But this time was different. My doctor who did the test called me and was like, hey, your cells have changed, and we are concerned that it's cancer. And I've never heard them say that before, not even when it came back abnormal before. So they wanted to do a biopsy. I think it was like 2 weeks later. So I did the biopsy. My doctor did it, and right away she was like, I am really concerned that this isn't going to turn out the way we want to. So my doctor's very straightforward, so I knew if she said that she knew something. But I wasn't supposed to see her for another 2.5 weeks after this biopsy. Well, 3 days later, they accidentally put it in my portal, and I found out the results, and it is that I have early stages of cervical cancer. I've known since mid-June, and I didn't really say anything at first because, the first 2 days I didn't even tell Brian because of our work schedule. I didn't see him, but I didn't want to tell him over the phone, so I waited until I saw him, and I didn't tell anybody until then. And I didn't want to say anything until I saw the doctor because I wasn't supposed to see the doctor for 2.5 weeks. So I didn't want to tell anybody until I talked to the doctor. So I saw the doctor, and it turns out the kind of cervical cancer it is usually only treatable with hysterectomy. And no woman ever wants to even hear that, let alone someone who is in the process of going through IVF and having a baby. So obviously we're very devastated, but very thankful that we found out early, because I believe the percentage of them getting all the cancer with early stage cervical cancer and hysterectomy is like 99%, or 90. It's something really, it's a pretty high percentage. But they caught it so early that if I had a hysterectomy, I would still get tested for cancer, still getting screened for it, but only for like, I think she said for 3 years, and then it would just be my normal tests. So thankful at least for that. So then I saw my oncologist, and she only does hysterectomies if she absolutely has to. So there is a little bit of a chance that I might not need one. I am having a biopsy done this Thursday, August 13th, to find out exactly where the cells are. Another term you might hear me use is precancer, because it's super early stages, or at least it's early stages, and so they call it both. It's one of those that if we left it, it would 100% turn into cancer. So they call me a cancer patient, and they'll either call it precancer or early stage cancer, because I mean, it is early stage cancer. So the couple good things is I should not need radiation or chemo. Thank God. I just might not need a hysterectomy, which, I mean, sucks, but I mean, I want the cancer gone, you know. So, but there's a chance where when I go in for this biopsy, when they go in, that if it's super early in the stages, I might not need a hysterectomy. But if they think that that it's progressed into cancer, I will have to have a hysterectomy. But if not, then there's a couple other things we could do before as treatment. So we are obviously praying for a miracle, because ultimately that's really what this is. So, you know, come to find out, this is why the IVF didn't work, why the transfer didn't work in February, was because I actually had polyps. We found out that I had polyps too. And, but the whole thing is if I would have been pregnant, they would never have found the cancer. So I feel very blessed that, you know, God protected me in that way. I mean, I'm still sad that I did end up pregnant, but, you know, my doctors always tell me you can't have a baby and you can't take care of a baby if you're not alive. So I tell myself that, because I don't always, you know, I don't always put myself first. But with all of this, I'm finding out that you have to. Cancer is a scary thing. Nobody ever wants to hear that they have it. So if you don't take care of it, you know, it's not going to go away. So that's what's been going on with me. I'm sorry if you're just hearing this for the first time. And you've talked to me, or I just, sometimes I feel like I've told people, or I don't want to even talk about it anymore, because I, you know, I don't really want to talk about it. It's not the most happy, positive thing. So that's what's been going on. I appreciate the prayers that you guys have already given me. Obviously they're working, maybe not the exact way that I wanted them to, but I really know that God is protecting me, and that he's watching over me, and everything happens for a reason. And I mean, just knowing that the transfer didn't work because of this is still, like, to me, crazy. Like, God was protecting me. So if you guys can keep praying for me, I would really appreciate it. Keep praying for Brian. Hey, this is not an easy thing. Pretty much since we got married, I've had medical issues, and, you know, your vows are in sickness and in health, and it's literally, I'm just like, sickness and more sickness and more sickness and more sickness, and now we're dealing with cervical cancer. So it's a lot on both of us, and I'm thankful for Brian that he just likes to work and pay for medical bills. That's pretty much what our life is. So thanks to anybody who's reached out to me already, who knows about this and has checked in on me. But if you guys can keep praying for me, I'd really appreciate it. One thing I do want to touch on is I know that I'm going to have somebody suggest, well, there's always adoption, or you guys can always adopt. And adoption is a wonderful thing. We have looked into it. It's something we would like to do later on. But it is not as easy as everybody thinks it is. It's not, you just go to the child store and you pick out the kid, child, baby, teen, whatever you want, and you just sign the papers and you go on your merry way. It's not that easy. It is very time consuming. It is expensive, just like IVF is. And but it comes along with other issues that people don't know about or talk about. My dad is adopted, so I'm very close with somebody adopted. I know other people who've been adopted. I've known people who have adopted, and it's a great thing that we'd love to do later on, but right now it's just not time for us, and that's okay. And it's okay for people to want to have their own kids. I know that even speaking from experience, that when people talk to you about it, they make you feel like you're a bad person because you want to have your own kid. But I've come to learn that I don't really listen to what people say to me, and that it's okay to want to have your own kid. So my suggestion to anybody is it's not good to say that to somebody who is struggling with infertility, whether it's IVF or any other fertility, or they're just unable to have a kid. You don't really know anybody's life. So I would suggest not saying that and save a little bit of a heartache to people who are struggling with infertility, whether it's unexplained or explained. So if you suggest it to me, I'll probably either ignore you, or you're just gonna get my honest opinion, because that's usually what blurts out. Especially with something like that, you get defensive if, or at least I get defensive when somebody brings up something I don't want to talk about, or that's a sensitive subject. So yeah, just wanted to give a heads up that pretty much anybody who's going through infertility treatments have already thought about adoption. So it's not some new thing you're bringing up. We've already all thought about it. So, but again, adoption is a great and wonderful thing. So just wanted to touch on that a little bit, because honestly, I know someone's gonna bring it up. So again, thank you everybody for all the prayers and for checking in on me. If I haven't gotten to you yet, I will. Hopefully in the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna be off work for at least a week after the procedure. Maybe, hopefully only a week, but it might be 2. So yeah, I hope you all are staying safe and healthy, and take care of yourselves. I'll see you real soon.